Hi, so it's been a while. I still have not seen the last two episodes of IWY. I think that's gonna be the last review when if I do continue, even if I continue watching IWY, thank gosh I'm an account member, it's just not the Starry account member. I don't know if I'm gonna do any more reviews. It's just mainly a fact of if they do any more new characters that could have some potential background in most of the other ones, even the ones that we don't see that often. Not like background people, I mean like don't see that often. The only thing I know, unless I did watch that episode for sure, it's the last two episodes I have to watch, but I know for sure what Adam's eye looks like. I do know what it looks like, and it terrifies me. If you know from if I did any videos last time, if any videos have actually gone up since I've gotten this working again, last November my computer just stopped working. Like, it would not charge no matter what I did. I had help, and I was actually going to send it to someone, but at the end of the month, literally the beginning of December, it fixed itself. I had it plugged in, and I just left it like that, and it ended up being fully charged when I finally got done with my last final. And it was fine. It was good. But I put everything on a flash drive. Well, I knocked it over on Monday. And now it only charges when it's closed. It will not charge when it's open. I mean, it'll show the little charging thingy, but it says not charging. And I did not realize that. It was my fault, and it's not something that's going to fix itself, most likely. We'll find out after May 2nd. Or the first week of May, if that's true. I mean, fingers crossed that this happens again, the way it does. But if it keeps happening after every semester, or at the end of every semester, I'm gonna need a Chromebook or something, because it's getting ridiculous. If I ever had to replace this thing, though, I love it. I love my big screen. I like a big screen. That's my main thing. Is that I will get a Chromebook. I want the Chromebook. It seems like it's the best suited thing for me. But I just don't want to keep having to redo my passwords because I can't remember them, and etc. Semester's going I'm doing okay so far, but it's just the fact of I gotta rewrite one paper, work on another one that's due on Tuesday, and I haven't outside of a couple things I haven't started yet. I have to finish this one small assignment, but it's gonna be overdue. And then work on a project for that same classes with the small assignment, and that I just don't feel like it's actually being beneficial, because it seems like with certain people I'm working with. The one is a good friend of mine, and so it's not as bad, but because I don't know if she would see this, and no offense, but it's because she doesn't seem like she's underwhelmed. She doesn't feel like she's being challenged, and it just doesn't feel right. And because one of the teachers we both have had it before, me twice, and I have to take her at least one more time as a redo for a class. This would be her second time, maybe more. We know how this teacher works. And, so yeah. I don't know if I'm taking anything in the summer, and if I don't, I might be trying to get my license. Yeah, I know how to drive. It's just the fact of I never got my license because I had transportation. I live close enough to walk to my jobs that I do have, and then for school I have the transportation, and I don't have much of a social life, and unless it was a necessary thing, I don't really do anything outside of what I normally do. Like, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow that I have transportation to. But if I can get my license and such, coming next year, I could have my own car. I mean, it's hand-me-down, but still. That's as much as I'm really gonna say. But mainly this is outside of the upcoming whenever I watch it, because it's just more about motivation, especially now that I don't have the luxury of outside of every 4 hours. I can use this stupid thing, which means Facebook gaming is going to be going down because I've been doing certain games more often than not, and that takes a lot of battery. Pretty much I now just trying to save most of my battery for the next, until pretty much the first or second week of May, for what I need to do. And every once in a while, because we have YouTube on our TV, I've got my Kindle still, I'm happy with that. But the problem is, every Monday, Thursday, I can get away with it more. Every Monday, every Saturday evening, I guess, and every Sunday, I don't get that TV. And our other one doesn't like doing DVDs, and it doesn't have the Netflix or YouTube. And then our third one's crap. It doesn't have a DVD player, but it has a VHS, but it's crap. We don't know why it keeps getting all odd. I mean, it works. It's just the fact of it's an old TV. Even though, so yeah. But mainly this is kind of a preview of what I want to do. Is mainly if I don't have a summer class, because that way I have time, and I'm already kind of ahead. It's just the fact of I want to make this scripted as notes, and I'm thinking about seeing if I can do like getting hyped up. Like it mainly is just the fact of trying to find days, and it won't start until after May, before I would know for sure if I would be taking a summer class. So if I'm not taking one, I will put a video saying this is what's going to officially happen, but this is a preview of what could be happening, and eventually will happen, but the date isn't officially determined yet. So after mid-May to June, July, and part of August pretty much is undetermined as of right now. Outside of the hypothetical, if I'm taking the class, a lot of things I want to do aren't going to happen as much. Where the only thing that's going to happen no matter what is this thing being fixed. Whereas, I mean, like, it's charges, that's all I'm happy about. Knock on, I think that's wood. But if I don't take a class, then more of this can happen more often than not. And I can actually make this as long as I have the thing on battery saver. So our public library does these book sales where they get rid of some of their older books, try to get in newer books, or try to get more hardcover books. They try to get rid of their paperbacks now because of damage and etc. And like older things that they know people aren't going to be reading or listening. I've gone to it multiple times, and I found like birthday presents, Christmas presents. Family that watches my YouTube or knows me on Twitter knows what I'm talking about. I try to avoid garage sales and this book sale thing, but sometimes that's the only way I can get stuff for one particular thing. Or if by chance I find something, as long as it's in good condition. But I wasn't finding that much, and then suddenly there was these couple of books. One author was James Patterson, and it's like I found ones that were like had interesting titles, and if I do ever read them, that would be the next thing after this other author. But the other one, I found 2 books by this author named Nora Roberts, and one I've read the entire series, and the other one I haven't. Now, I never heard of Nora Roberts before this. I wish I did. Because when it comes to romance, it depends on the situation. Like, I'm a shipper. I am a shipper. But I do it with certain things. I will do it with certain animes. Like, I ship both Maka from Soul Eater. I ship Maka with either Soul or Death. I don't really care which one she ends up with. I know it's gonna be Soul, probably, but still. Or on Host Club, that one's obvious, but I still love the other guy, Kyoya. Sailor Moon, that one's obvious. Cardcaptor Sakura, that one's obvious. And then Disney is also very, very, very obvious outside of Moana and also from Frozen, but that might change in Frozen 2, depending. Fingers crossed. And I'm hoping it's the way I want it to be. Um, but which shows it all depends. Like once upon a time, I was a Rumbell shipper, which is Rumpelstiltskin Belle from the series. And then I liked Emma Swan with Killian Jones, which is one version of Killian Jones, the original version, which is Captain Hook. Outside of that, and then Ruby, which is the Red Riding Hood with Dorothy, which was a later establishment. I get girly, like I will squeal, and then me and my dad my mom started watching a couple seasons, but then she stopped. And but me and my dad kind of had like this off on again joke. I mean, it's because Vampire Diaries almost feels like Twilight, but better. Like it was better. Oh, and if you notice, there's a gap in my teeth. Yeah, that thing broke. It doesn't hurt because I have no root. I had a root canal done a few years ago because of something else. But it's just the fact if I hadn't had a chance to do stuff between the health insurance and in school and work and everything. But it's mainly the fact of me and my dad used to have a joke where it's like I started doing the Damon Elena, which Damon is the one that looks like Edward from Twilight, the big poofy hair. But then it just seemed like I gravitated towards, or no, not Damon, Stefan. Is the one with the big poofy hair. But then I gravitated towards having her with Damon, the main girl with Damon, which is the bad boy guy, the one that doesn't want to be redeemed, and redeems himself for her kind of situation. But because I gravitated towards that way, my dad always made a joke where he was for Stefan, but it was more of a joke where because both of him and Edward from Twilight had the hair, he called it Team Poof, and every time that there was a whim where they were gravitating, where there was like you didn't know who she was gonna end up with before the last few seasons. Sorry, I thought I saw something. He was like Team Poof, or even Team Poof in general, even after that. I was like Team Damon, so it was like a getting off again joke for us until the very end. I mean, like I'm not even counting Marvel and DC because there's certain ones I do get, certain ones I don't get, some that are never gonna happen. Yeah, I'm a super bad shipper. Don't judge me. But it's never gonna happen. I know that much. I think Ben Affleck got out of there when he did, though. And for Marvel, for me, it's like I pretty much ship Loki with Tony with almost anybody, and Loki with almost anybody. Like, I'm a Frost Iron fan, I'm a Super fan, which is Steve, and Tony, which is Captain America and Iron Man. Frost Iron is Iron Man and Loki. I'm actually enjoying the Loki Thor stuff, which was kind of weird at first, but I actually am getting into it. But there's only one that is like it doesn't gravitate towards anything, and it actually goes along with the super fan one, is Spider-Man and Deadpool. I am actually a big fan of that, and I've been for a couple of years now, maybe 2, maybe 3. Definitely last year was a big thing for me. And so Tumblr was my best friend for a while. But outside of that, I haven't been a mushy gushy romance gal. Like, there's this new movie, let me see if I can find it. Should be one. All I know is it has Chris Hemsworth. I can't remember who the main chick is. So I'm just gonna look real quickly. Sorry. Unless that was like a brother of his. It looks like I gotta look up the other one. isn't it romantic? I'm that chick. I don't look like that chick, but I'm that chick where I'm skeptical on romance for myself. I employ it for others, but I don't really, outside of a couple circumstances, I don't really see it in my life. I wish, but it's just not where my life is at this moment, and I'm okay with that. Except for one exception, but that's another story. But when it comes to certain things, like I said, Marvel, DC, Once Upon a Time, I mean, like, I'm 26, so it's not just love that's a factor, and if you want to see, like, what I mean, like, that is not just a factor, you should see, Overly Sarcastic's, videos on writing, if you're a fan fiction writer. There's a few of them, it's like the romance kind of thing, it can be a factor into a lot of her things, where it's like, it's more than that. But, I found this author, and I know I'm at 16 minutes. I'm going to say as much as I can, and what order, I'll say it again if I officially do this, but what order everything's going to be in. Because mainly it's just the fact of, it's going to be in a specific order. I just want to have notes so I can, because it will be spoiler filled. It won't be, and the thing is, the first one I'm doing is from I should have brought that other notebook with me. 2016, I think 2016. 2015, 2016, I think. Whereas the newest stuff she's writing is from this year, and I think that'll probably be the far, far end of the thing. But I found this author, and I found got two of her books from the library. Her name is Nora Roberts, and she goes under another pen name, but the pen name books I'm not sure if I'm going to read, because it's even still ongoing, and there's like 48, I think, now. So I don't know if I'd ever get into it, because I could never catch up. There's also some individual books, but these trilogies that she wrote that were never before published before a certain point. Like, there is a publication date on some of them, but there's these NRs where it's like never before published. And luckily enough, I found the audio certain way. And though two of them were very, very hard to find. Actually, one of them I did eventually found library-wise, but I don't know if I would get the book before that point. And the other one, my mom found. The large print somehow was in our library and I did not notice. Which I will be talking about in a minute. But I haven't read this one. It's called Dark Witch. It's the Cousins O'Dwyer trilogy. But I read this one, and within less than a month, I was hooked. Like, and I'm not gonna say this already. Her trilogies, it seems like, take on a good factor, and a good writing factor that I really admire, because I saw it only in one other author's collection of skills, and that was Rick Riordan in his Heroes of Olympus series, where he used multiple points of view. The only difference is I think outside maybe the last book, I don't know if there was any that he like intertwined, but each chapter was specifically one person's point of view, whereas with her, she integrates even like, because it seems like each of her books of her trilogies, I haven't gone through all of them yet, so I don't know, has two main points of view. One man, one woman, and then there's some integration between some of the other characters that are the main 6 characters. They also go from points of view where it's like, it's just you as a viewer kind of situation. But, so it's like 7 points of view usually. As well as flashbacks, which you could count as a 7th point of view. But it just feels so natural, because it's like you're getting multiple points of view, and you're getting it's more like also their thought process. Now, the only sad thing is you don't know when they're going to move from one person to the next, outside of the 2 main ones. And even those 2. But her Guardians trilogy which starts with Stars of Fortune. I have seen a few book reviews of it, but it got me hooked. I love it. It's one of her more recent trilogies, actually. Whereas her most recent one is the Chronicles of One. But I will be starting with this. I've read all 3 books and actually listened to all 3 books at the same time as reading them, if I didn't just do one more than the other. I'm going to be taking book by book or series by series. It depends on how we go at it. It depends on how long I can make these videos, whether I do a live stream, which I'm thinking about doing with some stuff, not all of them, but some of it, or if I'm just like try to hype for when this video comes out. But I mean, it'd be one where it's like I'm gonna do a trial and error, and if I, worst case scenario, the longest you'd have to wait once it's previewed is a month, like by the end of that month or a month from that time period. Whereas earliest it could be, because I might edit how I do things and do multiple videos before I can actually get I pick the right one. But we would start with this one, Guardians of the Guardians trilogy, which has Stars of Fortune, which is from I'm gonna say just for the first one because I really love this one. It goes from the 2 characters because and I'm just gonna read off like the types of characters, because she, which is the seer, the magician, the archaeologist, the wanderer, the fighter, and the loner. But we also call them, but there's also like different terminology for her that she uses, and because I'm only doing it with the ones I own, but I'm underlining certain physical traits, terminology, which is in this book was a big one, etc. And I'm hoping maybe, just maybe, I can actually try to get sorry, I thought I was using you're gonna hear me go through descriptions of physical and also personality descriptions. Now if I do it as a series, it's just gonna be one big thing, like the descriptions, then the book story, and my review, because I might like reread it, and it'd be rereading, not re-listening, because the way I'm listening is like once I officially finish the book, I delete the file I have on it, or I return the thing I'm listening to. That kind of situation. I'm hoping if I do get a credit card, I get Audible. That's one of the biggest things I want to get. And I hope they don't actually make you return the thing, because actually I wish I could just listen to that forever. Like it's on a cloud, but it's not stuck in my Kindle kind of situation or my computer situation. The next one would be Morrigan's Cross. Now originally I didn't know which one I was going to do next, but I decided to just go through it. I actually found this book at what's the thing called? I can't remember what the store is called, but it's an Irish, she's a Celtic writer, and this is one of her big things. And you can see it in this book the most. I mean, there's like 2 characters that Celtic kind of backgrounds or European backgrounds in the other series, but the first book for the Guardians has the seer and the magician, whereas the second one has I think the wanderer and the loner, whereas the third one is the archaeologist and the fighter point of view. The second book for that is Bay of Sighs and Island Glass. Each one has a specific style, which is fire, water, and ice. If you saw the front of this, you can guess which one we start out with. And then we move into this one, which is Morrigan's Cross. Sorry, I'm looking at my list of what I actually need. Dance of the Gods, and I'm actually now finally reading Valley Silence, because that was one of the ones I couldn't find the audio for. And I've got my baby here. Oh, boo. This is Trixie. Hello, Lisa. She's my fluffy baby. He's like, will you make this stop? This is why your brother leaves every time I start something. She's a little calico princess. She's a couple years younger than her brother. And she's one of my babies. I don't know why, but they both love me because I think where we adopted them from is where I work. And again, just like the Stars of Fortune, it goes same thing where it's like it's 2-2-2, but you do get some point of view, but actually there's 7 points of view again with this one, mainly because you get the villain's point of view. Actually, maybe you could say even there's 8 with Guardians because it's like overall, which includes flashback, and then there's the villain's point of view, and this one I don't think there's an overall, but there's definitely a villain's point of view in this one. It goes off of magic and vampires, and it is very interesting. I gotta look to see how, I just got all the publication dates, which helps kind of determine what time period it is, which actually can be explained with the next one, which I don't actually have, sadly. So it would be Stars of Fortune, or Guardians Trilogy, Circle Trilogy, which is what the trilogy is called, and then Sign of Seven Trilogy, which is mid to early 2000s, and I actually enjoyed the most. They're between anything I found on YouTube outside of book reviews and other stuff is only 2, one being the Circle, and it's very few, whereas where I don't really see it more as I see with this one. But the Sign of Sevens, someone made a fan-made trailer, and 2 of the actors that they cast in it are perfect. One mainly specifically, but is perfect with who they cast them as. But it is mid to early 2000s, and it involves more of like a demon and a curse kind of situation with supernatural abilities. It's almost like you can feel the supernatural in it, and that's just because Sam Winchester, the guy who plays Sam Winchester, it was cast as one of the characters for this, and I really enjoyed it the most. Like I said, I do apologize if this is long. I might remake this before you even see this one. I mean, the baby one gets seen probably. But yeah, that one would be the third one I'd review. And the next one, which I have the second book, but I'm actually on the first book because my mom was trying to find stuff, because I thought for the one I think that's going to be next or later on, I saw at Walmart, and I decided not to buy it, even though it was cheap. It wasn't completely cheap, but it was cheap. Is the Key Trilogy, which has Celtic and Goddess, almost like the Stars of Fortune, but it's not heavy on the Stars of Fortune, whereas like they have abilities, whereas this is more of like a task. And I'm only on the first one, which is Key of Light, and I'm not that far into, or I'm good into it, but it's like I'm not that far into it. And that's like modern times, like pretty much anything that I've read already so far outside maybe the Circle Trilogy has been from 2000 or later. I'm trying to see what else, because I've got a list of what I actually need or what I'm interested in. Another one, let's actually look at the list that I pulled up. Let's see, Key is next. Then, I don't have the book on me, but I do own one of them, is the Three Sisters Island Trilogy. I own the first one, which is called Dance by Air, and that would be next. Outside of like reading the descriptions briefly multiple times, I don't really know anything about it if I haven't started reading it already. Mainly when I got like the Morgan's Cross and a couple that and the other dance, and then another one, it pretty much was like I was just trying to get the first one to see if I liked it, and if not, I could always donate it somewhere. After that would be what? The Ardmore series, which is the Gallagher's of Ardmore. I don't have any of those books yet. And then the next one I actually have the first book of, which is The Born In, and it doesn't seem like it has any romance or fantasy at all, which is what I pushed it back. Originally I was gonna, and that's the one I found the third book for, but I didn't buy it. And because the second book is unavailable audio-wise, the last one is the second book, or one of the two books I bought from the very beginning. The Cousins O'Dwyer book. I can't get Shadowspell audio-wise as of right now, so it's like it's been literally pushed to being the second to last now book. And this one involves witchcraft, and I think maybe also vampires in this one too, but I know definitely witchcraft. And then I just added to the list the Chronicles of One series, which is the most recent book series she came out with. And yes, I know A Blood and Bone sounds just like a different author's book title. Honestly, you're gonna get a couple people with the same book titles, maybe 1 or 2 words difference, but in all honesty, it's gonna be the same. I do apologize again that this is very long. I'm hoping YouTube lets me upload it. If not, I will try to make a condensed down version. But it's just the fact of this is what you're going to be expecting from me, and it's either going to be each individual book, but I'd rather do it as a series book. So I'm hoping to buy all these books eventually, mainly the ones I'm currently have read or are reading at this moment. So pretty much the Guardians. I want to get Cousins O'Dwyer because I want to get that second book, the Born-Ins, the Three Sisters, the Circle. I want to get the Science 7 because I've already listened to it all. The Keys. Pretty much I want to get those books, whereas Gallagher's, Gallagher's pretty much is the only one, and the Chronicles are pretty much the only ones I'm going to wait to get until I get to listening to them. I'm hoping before summer starts I can get more books. It's going to be harder to do that, but I'm confident as long as I can finish the rewrite and do the other paper first. In my one class, it's just my other one, so it's like I can learn half of them. So yeah, I'm gonna upload this while I'm getting my stuff ready to get situated, so I can listen to Key of Light while I'm doing some dishes. I actually really do enjoy this author. I mean, yes, it's romance, but it actually feels normal. It feels real. Whereas when I see comedy, pure comedy, yeah, some of them have life involved. Like, I liked Modern Family at the beginning, but anything that's comedy based purely, or romance comedy or anything like that, I just don't get into. If it's romance mystery, romance fantasy, romance anything that has something besides romance in it, or same with some comedy, but it's like I always gravitate towards the dark side of things. Not many things TV wise I can stick with that are light. But that's the end of this. I'm at almost 34 minutes, and I'm hoping I can actually upload this. But yeah, this is what I want to do. I'm hoping I can either do a promotion kind of thing ahead of time, where it's like, if I can say this is happening by this time, if not a live stream or just a video. But I want to do this definitely. But if school does get in the way of that, then it will be pushed. Whereas I would take a month, and I would actually do it as a trilogy instead of just each book individual. Though I want to kind of go with that regardless. But yeah, this is Alex signing off. Click like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. If you read any of the Nora Roberts books, mainly her trilogies, tell me which ones, and if you liked or disliked them. I don't need a full edit or book review, but if you liked or disliked them, if you read the ones I mentioned, so like the Guardians trilogy, the Circle trilogy, the Sign of Seven trilogy, and the Key trilogy, who are your favorite characters and or couples? And you can even say the villain if you like the villains of the books. I wouldn't judge you on that. But yeah, I'm hoping that this can actually happen because I actually really am. I really want to get my not just my point across, but like I like to talk about this kind of thing sometimes, and I don't always get the opportunity to do that. So yeah, bye.